got Andy Geist with me. We're going to be talking Gogo. For those of you who have been growing up in caves in Botswana and don't understand what's happening with in-flight connectivity and communications above and beyond the blue at this stage of the game, these are the folks to speak to. Andy, if you could, first of all, let's just do a broad overview at this stage of the game of Gogo Business Aviation. What is happening? What are you trying to accomplish at this stage of the game, and how is the industry responding?
Yeah, absolutely, Jim. Gogo goes back almost 2 centuries now. The company's been around a bit, and it started with a very, very simple premise of put connectivity on every possible aircraft we can. And that was the original intent of the founders of the company. And we really took that idea, and it's taken almost 20 years for us to realize that idea. And we started off very early in the air-to-ground business and transitioned into Iridium, and then added air-to-ground, and then we've also expanded into Inmarsats with broadband, KU, and emerging KA technology. So over that period of time, we have developed technologies around voice and data, the ability to allow people to do what they want to do in the back of the aircraft, which is talk, communicate, get on the internet, do email, all the things that we do on the ground, sitting at our office, sometimes driving in the car. So that innovation's been going on for a very long time now, and as you know, we've been focusing very much on the air-to-ground technology over the last few years, and developing that network and expanding the technologies into business aviation, general aviation, obviously the airlines, and that's been certainly a great part of our growth over the last few years. And now led by our Chicago group, our airline group, very diversified into KU, and obviously the emerging technologies that are coming along through KA, and growing the business that way. So very, very exciting times for our company right now. A lot going on, a lot of great opportunities.
Well, I get the pressures from Tom. You guys are not standing still.
Yeah, no, we're not going to.
No, I hear you.
Full speed ahead.
It's interesting. We all bought airplanes to do business because we had to go there faster. We had to get there in as close to real time as we possibly could. And then all of a sudden the time aboard the airplanes became even more critically valuable as the value of the time of the people who were doing the traveling became more and more and more expensive.
Right.
You basically got to be connected 24/7 in this day and age to be able to be competitive.
Yeah.
Let's run a quick scenario here. I'm Joe Machine Tool Company. I've got a pretty nice used Citation. I'm getting from point A to point B for all my plants. But in between, I've got a lot of calls to make, and even more important, I've got a lot of data to pump through the laptop and the iPad. How does that operator approach a solution? What do you need to do to educate him, and what kind of equipment is he going to have to undertake, and what's it going to take in terms of installation, operating, and maintenance to make sure that that Citation is competitive as it needs to be?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. It's all about time. It's all about efficiency, and we will start a conversation with an operator like that with, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? And from that, we can determine relatively quickly, is that a North American operated aircraft and stays completely within the domestic US? Does it operate abroad? Because the hardware and the service solutions that we may present to them can certainly vary. So in that circumstance, we'll assume it's a North American operator, and their desire is to be able to communicate. They may have crew requirements to talk on the phone. They may have some data requirements there. And then certainly on the back of the airplane, it's the ability to talk on the phone and do email and surf the internet and applications like that. So we'll start off certainly with showing them the air-to-ground product, because that's a perfect fit for that type of scenario. As far as what's required on the aircraft, it's to install the hardware through one of our authorized Gogo installation dealers. They acquire the hardware from the dealer does the installation, and then at that point the dealer hands the customer back to us, and then we activate service for that customer. The customer, similar to a cellular plan, has a lot of different programs they can choose based on how much data they may use, their need for voice, and they'll choose a package that basically fits them. Once the customer gets back on the airplane, it's as simple as logging on any Wi-Fi at Starbucks, in a hotel, or at your office. It's one log onto Gogo, and then at that time, in essence, they're on the internet. Once they are within network coverage, and from that point in time, they can use their own cell phone through text and talk, receive a call, make a call, receive a text, send a text, look at their email through their handheld device, or use their laptop. It's identical to what we do on the ground. The learning curve is, if you can figure out how to get on Wi-Fi and connect, you're on.
Well, it's a nice part of this is it used to be, had to use this phone, had to use this interface, so forth and so on. Your iPad, your iPhone, Android now, so forth and so on. All these technologies, slowly but surely, are becoming literally ubiquitous.
No, that's exactly right. You know, the day is not over, but the day is almost over where the learning curve is zero on this. Certainly a more complex aircraft that may go from the US over to, say, the European area, they have to transition through different networks. The hardware that we manufacture, it's our UCS 5000 product, it does all that smart routing for somebody. So it connects the network that's the best based on where the aircraft is, based on what the person's trying to do in the back of the aircraft. So again, at the end of the day, the customer doesn't really care how it works, they care that it does work. And we try to take all that pain away and make it very, very simple for our customers.
There's been a lot of progress in this section of the industry over the last few years. I remember using equipment here and there where the latency was just killing us. And in the case of data, it literally was killing the connection and so forth. What's happened overall to the capabilities, and especially to that evil demon latency at this stage of the game?
Right. Yeah, I mean, latency is in essence laws of physics. And the further that you go from the aircraft to an antenna and back to an aircraft, that's your latency. And with the advancement of technology through service providers that provide voice and data solutions over satellites, latency continues to go down and down and down to the point where, you know, it's almost hard to pick up. You're not talking on top of the other person anymore. So again, when you go 22,000 miles out in space and then go back the other direction, you're going to have some latency. There's just nothing you can do about that. But the network providers with new technology and new constellations are getting much, much better at that, again, to the point where it's almost undetectable.
Excellent. What do you feel are your biggest challenges? I mean, you've got a huge share of the market, and you built a rep. What you've done in the commercial space has been really quite incredible, and especially now rebranded, where everybody's talking Gogo and so forth. There's no question that you've derived an amazing footprint out of these efforts. But where do you go from here? How do you really not only keep your market, but expand upon it, and most important, increase services?
Yeah, no, thank you for the kind comments. Thank you. That's a challenge of every company, and every company has that. You have to continuously look for new ways to innovate. If you look at our product portfolio and our roadmap today, some of that innovation has started to come in through in-flight entertainment. You have a passenger on an aircraft that is not going to continuously do email for a long period of time. They're going to do their work and maybe switch into a mode of either relaxation, read a book, or enjoy watching a movie, or Bloomberg, or get a current update on current events. So we brought the service out on our airline side almost 2 years ago, and the uptake was very, very strong, very positive, and so we've brought that also into the business aviation side with Gogo Vision, and in essence it makes home box office in the airplane. And again, we've tried to make it very, very easy by working with the different movie houses. We take care of the licensing required with that, so that we can provide an environment for our customers where they can basically scroll through based on genre or length of time of the flight, and decide what they want to watch. So what you'll see from us in the future is really continuous innovation. It's going to be based around speed, it's going to be based around data, it's going to be based around in-flight entertainment, communications, and then the types of applications that would people, especially on the cockpit side, need on the cockpit side as well. As we continue to innovate and work with partners to provide solutions that maybe on paper today, you can reference that in the cockpit electronically. So that's the way we see the market going. Again, innovation is the key, continuously making things easier for our customers and so that their overall experience is as high as we can possibly make it. It's key.
You are servicing a clientele that, let's face it, can be pretty picky.
Yep.
Serving very high dollar, very highly motivated, very mobile communities like this. It has to just be an absolute nightmare. What kind of customer service program do you have to bring to force to be able to keep up with that? And what are you learning from that process?
Yeah, excellent question. I view as our next sales opportunity is how well we support current customers, because that word of mouth is key, and certainly in
especially in this community.
Oh
man,
it is imperative that you do it well. We from really day one have made customer service and support a number one priority within the company for that very reason, especially in business aviation. Through the great efforts of our support team, last few years we've been rated number one. I don't say that arrogantly, I say that because we've worked hard for it, and we've made it a priority and we've made it a goal, and we aspire to keep that place. But our ability to stay there, it's imperative that we give an unbelievable experience on every customer transaction that we have. Systems occasionally don't work the way they're supposed to. The interface may be wrong. We may have to fix something on the aircraft. It's part of selling hardware and services. How we respond to that is critical. And for our company, that is a top priority to support our customers, to give them the best possible experience we can, because we recognize the person in the back may not be that patient. They just want it to work. And our desire is to make it work as quick as we can.
Person in the back whose favorite phrase is, "Are we there yet?"
Are we there yet?
Yeah.
Why is it not working? Right?
Bingo.
Yeah, that's
there
right.
you go. On the hardware side, there seems to be some really exciting technologies coming to fore all across this segment. What particularly at this point intrigues Gogo the most, and at this stage of the game, is this a stable environment for the moment, or can we expect even bigger changes downrange?
You know, I think that it's an excellent question. I think that there is so much focus on connectivity right now, and that's really been based on the advancement of the technologies in air to ground, in low orbit systems, and then and certainly the high orbit systems. Is that you see a lot of companies moving in the direction of trying to embrace those technology advancements. So I would say that we'll continue to see lots of focus on connectivity in aircraft. Where that may go in the next few years, I think is somewhat open, but we can assume it's going to model what we do on the ground from the standpoint of technology and what we do and how we do that. And that we'll continue to see the large service providers, including ourselves, continuously make things better, make things faster, from an operational standpoint for the customer, and certainly in the cockpit side as well. So it's certainly a hot spot. There's a lot going on here. It's the buzz, and we love that.
Plenty of sizzle to sell.
We love that. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Final question.
Yep.
One of the things that drove the early parts of this market were costs. No question that it has become far more cost effective, both from a data and voice standpoint, to communicate. How does a person looking for the best possible result work economically? how does Gogo make this a cost-effective solution across a whole range of aircraft?
Yeah, no, it's a very good question. You have very different business models from the airline side, which is really a very large consumer model with lots of people going on aircraft. And then on business aviation, where you have customers have a lot of discernment on what it should be and how it should work and so forth. And the technology is expensive. The technology is expensive to develop, to maintain, to continuously grow. And the challenge and the opportunity for companies that provide those services is continuously to try to package that at a price point where the value proposition is there, so that it's good, it's reliable, it does what you say it's going to do, and it's at a price where you say, you know, I realize I'm at 60,000 feet and I'm transmitting data back and forth and I'm watching a movie and things like that. I'm not sitting at my office with a wire in the back of my laptop. So we have all those limitations, and with that comes a cost to be able to support that. So value proposition is key. We continuously look at that so that we can offer our customers hopefully what they perceive to be as a very, very good product and a very, very good value as well.
Judging by the crowds at NBAA a few months ago, you certainly attracted their attention.
Yes, it was a very good show for us. Thank you. Yeah, it was a very good show.
Indeed it was. Andy, thanks so much for your time here with Aero-TV and Airborne.
Aero-News Network's coverage of the 58th Annual AEA International Convention and Trade Show, live from Dallas, Texas, is brought to you in part by the following sponsors.
Now certified, Aspen Avionics single-band ADS-B, ATX-100, and ATX-100G transceivers are the next-gen ADS-B solution that provides the features pilots need while keeping flyaway costs low. Check it out now at aspenavionics.com.
Avidyne provides innovative avionics solutions for general aviation aircraft, including the IFD 540 and IFD 440 FMS GPS navcoms with geofill, hybrid touch, and full ADS-B capability.
The KSN 770 is an affordable, WAS-enabled integrated MFD with a flexible hybrid user interface from Bendix King. Get your fingers on the 770's perfect blend of touchscreen and hard buttons. Easily control your GPS navigation, navcom, weather, traffic, and terrain in any condition. For more information, go to bendixking.com.
The IntelliFlight 2100 digital flight control system is the perfect complement to today's integrated flight decks and is certified on the King Air and Conquest. It will now interface to a single EFIS and a mid-continent SAM 302 unit for a low-cost complete panel upgrade. Contact us at www.genesis-aerosystems.com.
An interactive links application is available in the Apple and Android app stores. This free app is a virtual simulation of the Lynx NGT 9000 touchscreen cockpit display that lets pilots interact with the unit as if they had a real system in their hands. The app covers the entire Lynx family of ADS-B products, including features and options to help customers decide which Lynx model is right for their needs.
True Blue Power advanced lithium-ion main chip batteries feature proprietary nanophosphate technology. They deliver 3 times the energy density and are more than 40% lighter than lead-acid or NiCad alternatives. RTCA tested, FAA certified, available to OEMs today. NavWorks makes ADS-B affordable. Certified or experimental, NavWorks gives you high-quality next-gen avionics solutions that dramatically increase your situational awareness. Check us out now on the web at www.navworks.com.
The debate is no longer about upgrading GA aircraft with NextGen, it's about financing it. The NextGen GA Fund is about doing just that. Find out more at www.nextgenfund.com.